You set the alarm for 5 a.m. You swear you'll start the diet. You buy the course, you download the app, you feel that surge of motivation. And then it fades, like it always does. You're left negotiating with yourself. Just 5 more minutes. Just one more scroll. I'll start tomorrow. What if the problem wasn't your motivation, but your strategy? What if everything you've been taught about discipline is wrong? 400 years ago, a man forged a philosophy in blood and steel that holds the exact key you're missing. He won over 60 duels to the death, many against multiple armed opponents. He became a legendary artist, sculptor, and philosopher. His name was Miyamoto Musashi, and he never lost a fight, especially the one against himself. This isn't a history lesson. This is an operating system for unbreakable will. By the end of this, you will understand the one rule that makes discipline automatic. Stay with me. We live in a world designed to break your discipline. Every ping, every notification, every endless scroll is a duelist striking at your focus. And you're trying to fight a 17th century samurai's battle with a modern plastic sword. We rely on motivation, on feeling like it. But here's the brutal truth. Motivation is a fickle flame. Discipline is the stone hearth that remains. When you're tired, stressed, bored, motivation abandons you. That's why your resolutions shatter. That's why you're stuck in a cycle of starting and stopping. Musashi understood this centuries before neuroscience explained willpower as a finite resource. He didn't fight his way to immortality on motivation. He built a system. A mindset so rigid, so unshakable, it made him a legend. His secret wasn't just in how he held a sword, but in how he held his own mind. Let's be clear. This is not about glorifying violence. This is about dissecting a masterpiece of mentality. Musashi was born in 1584, a time of constant war. By age 13, he fought his first lethal duel, and won. He then embarked on a warrior pilgrimage, challenging the greatest schools across Japan. His style was unorthodox. He often arrived late to unnerve opponents. He used a wooden sword, or even 2 swords against lethal steel. He won every single time. But here's the most important duel of his life, the one that came after the fighting. In his final years, he retreated to a cave, and there he carved his life's wisdom into 21 precepts. The Dokodo, the way of walking alone. This was his true masterpiece, the codification of ultimate discipline. It's not about fighting others, it's about ending the civil war in your own mind. So, what's the first principle that separates a legendary warrior from someone who hits snooze? Musashi's core principle is deceptively simple. Do not let your heart be swayed by your body. Do not let your body be swayed by your heart. Let that sink in. Your body screams, "I'm tired." Your heart whispers, "I don't feel like it." And in that negotiation, your mission dies. Musashi commands a total separation. The mind decides. The body obeys. There is no committee. Your feelings are not voting members of this board. They are mere spectators. Every time you say, "I'll work for 25 minutes, but then I'll check my phone. I'll eat clean, but this one treat won't hurt." Musashi's Dokodo is ruthless on this. One precept states, "Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling." Hope is a partial feeling. Temporary motivation is a partial feeling. They are unreliable. You must depend on principle alone. But the ultimate test isn't pain, or fear, or hard work. It's boredom. Musashi spent years in solitude, training, refining his craft. No audience, no applause. Modern discipline fails because we expect it to be exciting. Going to the gym, learning a language, building a business, 95% of it is profoundly boring repetition. Can you show up for the boring part? When the novelty wears off, that is when your true discipline is forged. Musashi didn't duel every day. He practiced every day. The glamorous result was built on a mountain of unseen, boring work. Musashi lived by a non-negotiable routine. He didn't find time to train. His life was the training. From waking, to eating, to walking, to creating art, it was all part of a deliberate practice. Apply this now. You don't find motivation to work out. You schedule the workout. And when the time comes, you are a passenger in your own body. It goes to the gym. Your feelings are irrelevant. You don't feel inspired to write. You sit down at 7 a.m., your hands type. That's it. This is ritual over whim. Your routine is the sword you sharpen daily, so when chaos strikes, a bad day, high stress, low energy, you are not defenseless. So what's the one rule, the single takeaway from Musashi's life that you can implement tomorrow? It's this: declare the action, remove the alternative. Every act of discipline is a duel. You versus a distraction, an excuse, an easier path. Musashi never gave his opponent a chance. When you declare, "I will run at 6 a.m., you remove the alternative. You lay out your clothes. You go to bed early. You make failure impossible. When you declare, "I will write 500 words," you close every other tab. You disconnect the internet. You remove the alternative. Stop trying to be stronger in the moment. Be smarter before the moment arrives. Design your environment so that the disciplined choice is the only choice. This is the way. Musashi's final precept in the Dokodo is perhaps the most beautiful. Never stray from the way. The way isn't perfection, it's return. You will have days where you lose a duel, you negotiate, you succumb. The disciplined warrior does not crumble. They do not write off the whole day, the whole week. They simply return to the way, immediately, with no drama. Your unbreakable discipline is built in the relentless return to the practice, not in never falling, but in always rising again, faster each time. So here is your first duel. When this video ends, you will be faced with a choice: to click away, to another distraction, or to do one thing, one small declared action. Declare it now, in your mind. Then go and do it. Remove the alternative. That is how you walk the way. That is how you build the unbreakable. If this philosophy resonated with you, if you want to go deeper, the Book of 5 Rings and the Dokodo are your next steps. Like this video if it gave you a practical tool, not just a motivational high. Subscribe for more content on mastering the art of living with discipline and purpose. And most importantly, go win your first duel.